Hey, Booskies, it's your girl, Pretty Girl Magic. Just wanted to come through real quick. Look at the Tennosaurus is in reverse off her rip. I want these to be in the upright because I like to start in the upright position, you know, because, being in the upright, you get a fresh start. Anybody that's in the reverse, you already starting off on the fucked up slate. So this is just a message about me, talking about me, my life, you know, I'm starting from 2019 from in my life, and I'm led to disclose some of my information, and I'm just talking about me. And look what the cards is coming up. So the individuals that's going to be in my life story are watching. So, but God is here. You know what I'm saying? So have no fear, right? I have no fear. So, and they are in the Ten of Swords. So, they will be for sure after I finish. But I'm not going to disclose no one's name. I'm going to be treading a thin line. This message will be triggering, for the ones that I'm talking about. If they're watching me. So it's just my life story and some of the trauma I have been through. We all been hurt before. I know I most definitely have. It's like, I've been hurt before. Real love I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? And you find that within yourself. I've been searching for love, looking for love, accepting individuals that don't know how to give love. Of course, I didn't know that, but look, and I seen the Hierophant when the deck opened up. So, yeah, of course I didn't know that, but I accepted a lot of people because they have good potential. Individuals, and I'm not here to slander no one. Individuals portray to be a good thing that they not. Glory be to God, but it's justice here. And that's why I'm pulling cards, because the reading is really about me. And I don't even really want to make it a reading. I just want to talk about my life. It was 222 on the clock that I saw my life. And look, from the past here, I'm guided to do this reading. And I don't want to go all the way from the beginning, from my childhood, because anything that happened in my childhood, I have been healing, I have been growing, moving past that, putting in a lot of work, you know what I'm saying, to heal and forgive those who hurt me. And Lord knows, I'm not portraying to be perfect. I'm far from that. You know what I'm saying? I make mistakes all the time. I used to steal a lot. I was led to go steal. I said I wasn't going to go on my childhood, but this is what I'm led to say. I was led to go steal and take. I started stealing from stores. I started stealing from people. I started breaking into houses, breaking entries. You know what I'm saying? Climbing in through windows and shit in broad daylight. Like, bad. Went to juvenile because I got caught. And then police took me home before they took me to jail. And the one that answered the door let them take me. Diabolical work. And they the ones sent me. When the police took me home after they caught me stealing, the person that answered the door told them to go ahead and take me. Like, with pleasure, with ease. This is the instructions in the tarot deck. This is like the instructions, facts, how to use it. So this is the truth. So I did a lot of diabolical things in my past, but I don't want to go to the past, Lord. I just want to stay right here from 2019. Allow me to see, say, read and reveal what needs to be revealed. 4:24 on the clock. That you want me to reveal about my life, because I've been hurt, and I've been hurt a lot, and it started within the family. Then lovers, searching for shit that I shouldn't have been searching for, because it's right here. It's right here within. 4:44 on the clock. Chasing love, and ain't nobody got no love to give, because we all been hurt. But I forgive those who hurt me, and if anyone feel like I have hurt them or came up against them unrightfully, I pray that you forgive me as well. You know what I'm saying? Because healing is a journey and we have to heal past our hurt, 5:05 on the clock, and our trauma. I seen the Eight of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles is work. Work, 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 work. And somebody don't know how to put in that work to heal. You know, but I've been healing and I've been putting in a lot of work to heal and forgive those who hurt me knowingly and unknowingly. You know, especially from the childhood. So, you know, I just was told to tell about my childhood just a little bit, you know, because I said this in the other video that, you know, I've been touched, I've been hurt, like individual, you know, danger, stranger danger, but this person was not a stranger, 5:44 on the clock. This was somebody in the family. You know, they used to touch me. They like little girls. They come off secretly. They like little girls. That's why I'm pulling these cards. This is confirmation. So you guys know that my story is my story. This is my life. You know what I'm saying? My life. My life, my life, my life, my life. On the spotlight. You know, this is a reading about me. You know, and I'm kind of happy to even be doing it. You know, even though it hurts me because I've been hurt. Bear with me, y'all, while I get my thoughts together. But yeah, I was touched as a little kid. I was neglected as a little kid. I wasn't loved properly. I wasn't nourished properly. Look at this shit. I cannot make it up. I was shunned, pushed away, you know. 6:36 on the clock. With family members that didn't want me because I'm not their responsibility. I was put off on family members. That wasn't my I wasn't their responsibility. So of course they did the bare minimum. You know, I feel like if a person don't like you, I don't care if it's your family members or friends, and you got kids, 9 times out of 10, they ain't 7:07 on the clock. They ain't liking them kids too much because they a product of you. They ain't supporting them kids much at all because they a product of you. If they don't like you, you better believe 9 times out of 10, so that's rare, that they don't like them kids. But, you know, when I was touched, the person that I told when I was touched, they pushed me away. They told me to go to my room in the house. This is a happy home, but it wasn't. And this is karma, changes, 3 of Swords. I was hurt. They got to party and celebrate and continue what they was doing, you know, while I was hurt. Because a stranger, not a stranger, but I'm saying that just because it's come to me, stranger danger. Because this big grown-ass man wanted to touch on a little kid. Probably about 8, 9. I used to stay at night with his daughter. You know what I'm saying? And the person that sent me over to their house used to go out all the time with his girlfriend. I'm not saying no names, y'all. But the individuals that's watching me and about my life story, they know who they are. And I forgive you. Honestly and true. Authentic forgiveness. But this is my life story, 8:33 on the clock, that I have to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's 8:38 on the clock now. I'm being guided to do this reading about me and my life. And so just a briefness about my childhood, and then I'm gonna jump to 2019. But this person that I told that I was getting touched on, that I love, I just think the Ace of Cups, you know, the family, they shunned me away. You know what I'm saying? 5 of Wands. They shunned me away, told me to go to my room, you know, like it was nothing. I don't know if they've been touched before, and it's like, I don't know. You know, I can't tell you what somebody else is thinking. But I thought like, wow, why they not doing nothing? You know, this man hurt me. This man did this to me. You know, and you keep sending me over to this man's house and they keep doing the same thing. And I keep telling you that this man is touching me. He's doing something to me. Actual and factual. This is the instructions about the card, the deck. And so he was even touching his daughter. And she used to say, I'm so glad you're here, because 9:49 on the clock, because when you here, he don't touch me, you know, and I felt like I was protecting her for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was helping her, but no. It's like, it always had this mind on me. Like, when I was a kid, like, I was more wiser than what I was wise as a child. Like, I was smart or intuitive, or I just had a sense, a knowing. You know what I'm saying? As a child. And I used to always get hit in my mouth. I used to get told, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm talking about. That mouth gonna get you in trouble. That type of stuff when I was a child. But the guy used to touch on me all the time. He used to touch on his daughter. He touched on his daughter for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, until she was, till she don't even fuck with him no more at all. Like, as in she got her right, keep her kids away and everything. And I seen this man in the store. And look, he watching. I just seen the page of swords. But the Ace of Swords is better than the Page of Swords. So I'm just skipping around my childhood. This is later. So I seen the man in the store, sometime last year, year before last. And the man started talking about my mom and was like, oh, that's crazy how, your mom raised you. You had a hard life. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you participated in my life being hard, because I don't, I'm thinking to myself, I didn't say this to him, but I'm just looking at him while he talking all this stuff, talking about my mom, talking about how I grew up and how it was hard, like, because he had firsthand seeing this, knew me almost all my life, how it was so hard and how they did me wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, like, he must don't know that I remember. You added to that pain. You added to that trauma. You contribute into fucking me up. You know what I'm saying? With ease. You know? I used to be so scared to go to sleep because this motherfucker come in there like a straight predator and rub his hands up under my gown and do things under my gown from the back. Like diabolical shit. Like nasty man. Nasty, nasty man to a kid. And he had a wife. You think she stopped anything? He had a girlfriend when he was doing this shit to his daughter. She act oblivious to what he was doing to the daughter. She knew. She knew. I didn't live with them. When I came in, he would get in the shower. He'd come out with a robe on and call her in to come lotion him down, open his robe up and be booty butt naked and be sitting out like this and tell her to rub him up with lotion. His daughter, naked. While his girl was in the computer room. The fuck out of here. How I know and you don't, and you live here. Clarification, confirmation. This is the sun. This shit is being revealed. So, this motherfucker saying shit about, how I grew up. I gotta be careful with my words, y'all. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you contribute to that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you think I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think I don't remember? Because I always been a nice a kind person, a loving person. One thing that God did for me that I do recognize, and I recognize at an early age, is I have a loving heart, a forgiving heart, a healing heart. Like, everybody don't know how to heal from trauma. I know how to heal from trauma. Like, I forgive and forget and let go and act like I ain't never knew it. You know what I'm saying? Some things I choose not to forget because it keeps me protected. You know what I'm saying? From the motherfuckers that think they can come back in my life after some years and think it's okay. Like I forgot. No, because that's what mugs try to do. They hurt you, you isolate yourself, you get rid of them, and then they try to 14 on the clock. And they try to come back in your life like ain't shit happened. No, I remember, And before that man came to me in the store talking about how I grew up, like, I had been around him for years throughout that time. And, he'll still say little smart, slick shit like, oh, you looking good, Jen, or I see you, Jen. And, I'm always thinking like, this motherfucker just nasty. You just don't stop, But, yeah, Seven of Swords. Sneaky, conniving, manipulative, backstabbing, liar, narcissistic energy. stalker, constantly. But okay, enough of that past stuff. I want to get to more of the current from 2019 to now. Like I said, I've been hurt before. Real love, I'm looking for. It's my true story, my life. On how I've been hurt, and it's one thing that I just can't heal from. I done healed from a lot of things and came back from a lot of things. Bounce back game, strong. From a lot of hurt, being cheated on, lied to, deceived, you know. I even had an STD, you know what I'm saying, from a motherfucker trusting. And you just can't, you know what I'm saying? I forgive everybody, anybody from my past. If they see me, I can say hi, chop it up, but ain't no getting close, you know what I'm saying? So, but from 2019. So they want me to start with the relationships. I was with this guy. I'm not saying no names, y'all, but if y'all know me or think you know me and been watching me ever since I had social media, you know what I'm saying? You know my life. You know some of the stuff I'm about to touch bases on. It might be a trigger warning for you if I'm talking about you, But 2019, I met this guy. Sexy dark chocolate type of guy. He was looking like he was chiseled. You know what I'm saying? Different from everybody that I have encountered. I stay in Battle Creek, Michigan. Different from these basic people that I have been seeing, that I have been in relationships with, I should say. This mug speak different languages. Seemed like he was very knowledgeable, very smart. You know what I'm saying? Able to teach me things, like investing in me mentally, like I'm a sapiosexual. Somebody could be arguing right now about the shit I'm saying. I'm a sapiosexual, so that's what turns me on, intelligence. And I don't even think I'm that bright or smart, you know what I'm saying? Because back to my childhood, I didn't have a lot of schooling. My mom didn't send me to school much, and I forgive her. I'm not here to bash nobody, but this is my story and my home, Ten of Pentacles. I didn't go to school much. I had to stay at home a lot to watch my siblings, because, she wasn't there. She was doing what she wanted to do in her life. She didn't have time for the kids she had. She was sexy, beautiful, and attractive. She was out here, and I had to stay at home a lot to take care of siblings. So believe it or not, my mind just went completely blank from that. So I was shut off from saying that to you guys. But with this guy, he was so sexy and attractive. You know what I'm saying? He was just like the best thing since sliced bread when I met him. Different from the rest, cut from a different cloth. At least that's how it came off. This person did come out of prison. He did tell me that, and I thought we had, I don't know what I thought. I had true intentions, and I don't know, like, I was just naive about it. I was excited about the energy he was giving out, and, like he was different, and the sex was good, and, like, I thought he was honest, because he would say something that's fucked up as shit, and I used to be like, well, at least he honest, and I know how to maneuver, I know how to make my chess move. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing checkers, we playing chess, because he's strategic with the shit he say. Like, I felt like he was honest. And forgive me if I'm all over the place, y'all. And I felt like, okay, I can maneuver around some of the things he say to me. That motherfucker was slicker than slick. I used to see him, with different personalities pop up at different times and shit. But I thought he was dope. And he came out of prison, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't have nothing. And I met him on social media. I don't know how to be in a relationship. I didn't know how to be in a relationship because I was never raised properly to know how to be in a relationship, to know how to have a man, or how. I don't even know my father, my dad. Like, I only know my mom and that side of the family. No proper upbringing with my uncles. I had one uncle, and I'm going to name his name because glory be to God. His name is Rick, my Uncle Rick. You know what I'm saying? My Uncle Rick. And I'm about to cry because I felt like he was the only one that really, like, shed love upon me for my mom. Out of the out of my mom's siblings,
Um, he the one that was really like showing love. Oh, I look ugly when I cry. He was the one that really showed love. And it was I felt that, like I said, I was wise at a young age, and I felt that as a kid, like he was the only one. And my uncle loved me, like he loved his whole family. He was just about that life. He was the one of the family. You always got that one. It was like my grandma was the one, my uncle was the one, and I'm thinking that I'm the one. I don't really know my family like that on my I don't even know them really. I just know them since I was a kid, but being an adult, I don't know them. I can't speak on who they are and how they are as people. But my Uncle Rick, he was that deal. He showed me real genuine love. I stayed with an auntie, but she didn't invest nothing into me. She stayed in her room all the time. I used to take care of her kids, do their hair and everything. And, I was trying to get out and see little boyfriends, try to get away. You know what I'm saying? But my story's all over the place, y'all. Forgive me. But give me a minute. I can collect my thoughts. That broke me down. 21:11 on the clock. But he the only one. My Uncle Rick really the only one really showed real, genuine love, authentic love. I felt the love, and it ain't because he ain't here no more. It's because it was really genuine. Like the love he gave was genuine. And I can say, being a kid, I noticed that he gave it to my mom. He gave that love to my siblings. He gave that love to my aunties, my grandma, like his brother. Like he was the one that had that good love, that good heart, honest and authentic type of person. That's how I knew him. I can't speak for everybody else. But going back to that guy in 2019, I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. And that motherfucker, like I said, when I met him, he didn't have nothing. And he was like, man, I ain't got nothing now, but if you can look out, he was like, I got you. I promise you, I got you. So it was like I had to deal with some trust with him. Like I had to trust him. And before I even met this guy, I have been cheated on, deceived, backstabbed, manipulated, all type of shit. And I'm always willing to give that person the benefit of the doubt until they deceive me. So I gave him that. He needed some clothes, he needed shoes, he ain't had no whip. And I provided all that for him. My whip, charge my credit cards, like boop boop, get what you want. You want it, I got it. It's driven like water. It made me feel good just to make him feel good. You know what I'm saying? And he was on, like I put on for my city. And he was straight stunting. Like he was looking good, feeling good, confidence up. He was doing me in. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah. So he was talking about plans for the future. Like I felt like he was talking to me like I was that deal. I was gonna be that one. You know what I'm saying? We about to go far. He had plans like moving out of Battle Creek. We was going to go to California and just do things. You know what I'm saying? And do things like business wise and grow and be together. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Like La La Land. Like I was like, yes, finally. And that's not what it was, man. Like that mug, he got on. He reimbursed me all the money I spent on him. So he gave me all that money back. He put money in my pocket. He was paying my car note. He was paying my bills. Like I was like, okay, so he good. You know what I'm saying? I got all the money back so I can trust him. He built that trust with me. And he was doing schemes though. He was about them schemes and scamming, credit card fraud, and doing a lot of dumb shit. And I was like, why we gotta do all this dumb shit? You know what I'm saying? You got good credit, you smart, we could do anything. I'm open to learn whatever I need to learn. You know what I'm saying? You investing in me already mentally, you know what I'm saying? And I'm catching on to all this shit. Man, this mother told me to stay in my lane, stay out his motherfucking business. So I was like, damn, this motherfucker flip mode. And motherfucker changing and he got a little money in his pocket. And the money don't turn me on. It's the mental that turned me on. I'd rather go broke. I'd rather be without you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much money you got. That mental is what turned me on. But anyway, he started getting this big old ego. You know what I'm saying? Because his money started growing. He started getting all his money. His credit was good. He was doing things with his credit. We went to the dealership in Grand Rapids. This mug got like I'm being try to, y'all, I'm just bear with me. This might be a few different videos. Past shit, you know what I'm saying? This mug got 3 different Hellcats off the lot. No money down. 3 in one day. We meeting the branch manager. We doing big dog shit. We meeting the branch manager. We doing all type of shit. We in the Hellcats. You know, I'm scared to drive the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But we pulled off the lot with 3 Hellcats. And I was thinking that he wanted me to mind his business. Shit, they in court now. That shit is not prevailing. He wanted me to mind my business, so I was kind of on thin ice, walking on eggshells on what I can say to him and what I can't say to him, because I didn't want to piss him off. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I felt. And so, you know, them 3 dudes, like other dudes, came and got the Hellcats, and I'm like, you don't got one? Like, why would you get these niggas Hellcats? Like, what's going on? And he got him like an Enclave 2023, I think it was. So he got it before it was even 2023. He got it. It was, matter of fact, it was the brand new 2023 Enclave that same year, 2023. This is when that happened. But I met this dude in 2019. No, so he got the Hellcat in 2019 or 2020, and he had the new 2023 when it first came out. I think it was the 2023, y'all. Like, this was some years ago, so bear with me. But he got the newest car off the lot. It was an Enclave. And I'm like, why would you get the Enclave and you getting these niggas Hellcats, race cars and shit? You know what I'm saying? I was so motherfucking disgusted with him. And I'm like, why is he doing this shit? And it was all a scheme. All these niggas was working together. I don't know if he put this shit together when he was in prison or how this shit worked out, but because he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me nothing. And I don't know if they made a business up for him in his name, you know, but that shit all in one day. He ended up with 3 Hellcats and 1 Enclave. A Buick Enclave, I don't even know if it was a Buick, but it's an Enclave. All black. He totaled that motherfucker out less than 3 motherfucking months. He was going to cheat on me in Detroit or wherever. And it was a stormy night. This mug ain't been out longer than a year yet. You know what I'm saying? He 27 on my clock. And he had been in prison for 28 years. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, I know I have done dumb shit because I didn't have a proper upbringing. You know, like I said, I didn't know my dad. I wasn't showed the proper love. I didn't know how to have a man. I just was doing dumb shit that I seen my family do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are women. I don't know nobody in my family that got a stable relationship. So, you know, they all for the street type energy, aunties. You know, I don't know what they doing now, but when I was growing up, that's how that shit was. My auntie got down, had 6, 7 niggas at the crib at one time. I used to think she was the shit doing that. You know what I'm saying? But that's whole shit. Bald head whole shit. But anyway, this mug ain't been out of prison no time and try to go cheat on me with somebody in Detroit. And I only knew because the motherfucker got in the collision. Wrecked the motherfucker. And guess who he had to call for help? Because Pimp was down. Me. And who gonna save his ass? Me. So I'm 50,000 questioning this motherfucker. We into it and shit. I'm like, this ain't gonna get us nowhere. Me being mad, arguing with this motherfucker, and he want to turn the tables around like it's something against me. Like, you want to be mad at me, and I ain't did shit. So I help him and shit like that, you know, get him through that situation with love. You know what I'm saying? Get him through that situation and still forgive him. But I'm like, that's what the fuck you get for trying to go cheat. I'm just skimming through this, y'all. Whatever I can remember, I'm just led to say how I've been hurt to lead up to the one thing that I cannot heal from. And I forgave him. Let it go and forgave him. Moved on. You know what I'm saying? Still in a relationship with this mud. And move past that. The next traumatizing thing with him, it was like he was fresh out of prison. So what was I thinking? You know how I wasn't thinking, like the sex was sexing. Sex with you is like, that sex was sexing. That mug was like the best I ever had. You the best. You the best. He was the best I ever had. Like the sex was sex, and he knew how to use that motherfucker. And I ain't ashamed to say nothing that I'm saying. Glory be to God. You know what I'm saying? This is my true confession. It's my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just led to say this shit. And so he was putting it down. It's like, and he knew it. He knew it. He had me. At least he thought he did. You know what I'm saying? But I had already been through trauma. And I already know what the deceit is like. Because that's all I ever been through was a lot of deceit and deception. And that's what he didn't bank on. But so things started getting real bad after that accident. You know, he started cheating out here for the streets, cheating with people I know. He started being out here, and I don't know what people were saying to him about me, but he would come back here and say shit about me like I was just the worst person. Like when I was with this one guy, and they saying like, I'm not saying no names, y'all, but I was with this one guy, and they tried to say that I stole his truck and I took his truck from him, and I was with another dude. Like I was really for the streets too. I was doing street shit, like bald head hoe shit, because that's all I knew. That's all I knew until I did some soul searching and introspecting. I was trying to figure out who the fuck I was. But I guess he was hearing a lot of shit about me that people had to say about me out here in the streets. And I used to tell him, just ask me. I can tell you better than anybody else could. And I could be true and authentic about you, about me, because I love you and I want to be with you. He wasn't trying to hear none of that shit. He stopped coming home at night. You know what I'm saying? I started finding condoms, and I'll be like, at least he using condoms. This one time he didn't come home, you know, and I was just like sick. And he came to the house. He got in the shower. He thought I was asleep. He came in the house, got right in the shower, and I was upstairs in my room. And I said, just tell me the truth. Was you with somebody? He had on glasses, and he was sitting down on the bed. We had so much sex, we broke the bed frame. We didn't have a bed frame. You know what I'm saying? And he was sitting low, and I was standing high over him. And he looked at me and was like, yeah, I was out having sex. And I got so mad, I smacked the shit out of him. And his glasses ended up being like this and shit, you know? I was like, bop. And then I fucked up a whole bunch of shit in the house, in the room. And I was like, I'm just fucking up my own shit. And I came down the stairs. I kicked that door open like, boom. Came all the way down to the basement and just sat down like, ooh, this motherfucker. You know, and I'm having all these bad thoughts and shit. He got my whole insides in turmoil. He come downstairs and was like, oh, if it was anybody else, I would have hit you. I would have hit you. And I'm just sitting there like, do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about ready for all this shit. You know, I was in despair. I was, you know, I don't know, you know. And he didn't hit me back. He just walked away and shit. Forgave him after that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we started hanging out, going to the strip club. I ain't really 3:03 on the clock. I ain't really interested in women. Like, I ain't interested in women, period. And I wasn't really interested in the strip club. You know what I'm saying? But we going to the strip club. You know, people hanging around us and stuff like that. And I'm like, I ain't even into this. But he seen at the strip club that women come on to me. I have always had the opposite sex come on to me. Long as I can remember, like, the opposite sex has been attracted to me. But I'm not attracted to the opposite sex. And so he came to me and was like, oh, I see these hoes like you. He was like, man, like we can be a team with these, you know, I'm not, so forgive me for what I don't know how to say it. So it's like, he was like, he wanted me to grab up the women because he seen that the women was attracted to me and court them. You know what I'm saying? Like court them, bring them in, like pimp them, you know, like what the mistress do. I don't know if I'm even saying that. That's not the right word. Like, I don't know. He wanted me to get the hoes and pimp them hoes out or have sex. I don't know what he wanted me to do. It was all weird, but I wasn't going for it. You know, I don't like girls. I'm not attracted to girls. None of that shit, you know, and he wanted me to grab the girls up. And then I was, you know, he got mad when I wasn't into it. He wanted me to have sex with women. He wanted me to have threesomes with him. Or he wanted me to just have sex with women and him watch. And I'm like, I ain't into none of that shit. Like, if I was liking women, 3:43 is 3:30. I can't even say the time. 3:4 on the clock. And I'm telling him, like, if I liked the women, I would have been with women. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like women. I ain't never liked a woman. I might have done some curious things when I was a child around 10, 11, but that's when I found out I didn't like girls. My life was so devastating because it was like so much unbalanced energy around. You know what I'm saying? I was doing whatever I saw my family doing because that's who I was mostly around. The family. That's who it was. The family. And I found out that I wasn't interested in girls because I did try it. Kiss. What I did was kiss the girl. I might have touched her breast, but I was like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? They was more trying to get me than I was. I was never interested in girls, and that's the honest to God truth. With love, I was never interested in girls, but he wanted me to have threesomes and do all this extra stuff, and I just wasn't into it. And so he basically was like, I'm not the one for him, and that kind of hurt my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, he trying to get me to get out here. He gonna leave me if I don't do what he want me to do. And then I started praying to God, because if I ain't got nobody, I got God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, that's just ain't who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I like the girls, I would have been like girls. It wouldn't be you who turned me out, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be damned if you would be the one turn me out. You know what because I'm looking at you like, you basic ass nigga like everybody else I've been with. Because he used to get mad and be like, you trying to treat me like all these niggas out here and I'm cut from the rest. And it's like, no, nigga, you doing basic ass nigga shit, basic hood shit, basic shit that I done grew up around, that I done seen. You ain't impressing me. You impress me because you smarter than the rest of them. Now that I can give him. He got he got a mind on him, but he didn't use it for good at all. He used his intelligence for bad. So, Muggs threatened to leave me, and I was devastated about that. I was actually sick that this mug wanted to leave me, and it was just like, yeah, because he was out here, this young energy for the streets, giving to everybody, and I was just like, I can't be out here like this. This mug making me look bad. It's a lot of hoes out here that don't like me already, you know what I'm saying? And he out here fucking with a lot of these hoes that don't like me, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, I gotta let this motherfucker go. And so like I said, he was giving me money and all this shit, and so he had went broke, and I was still fucking with him after this. He had went broke, and he was like, I need some money. I'm gonna give you your money back. I've been giving you all this money, and I've been, doing all this. He was throwing shit in my face that he had been doing for me, and I was like, damn, this motherfucker throwing shit in my face, but I had been doing for him too. Like, I thought this was equally. Now that's one of my pet peeves. You throwing shit in my face that you done did for me, and that make me feel like when none of that shit genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was doing shit for me to have something up over me. But he had gave me a lump sum the last time, and he had went on hard times, and he was like, even though he had been cheating on me, not coming home, lying to me, talking to me reckless and shit. One time he was talking to me so reckless, my son had to come up and check his ass, and he said, oh, I gotta leave up out of here. I'm not safe. My son was about to chin check him, and it was my youngest one. Both of them came, but my youngest one was like, fuck this shit, get this nigga up out of here. You letting this nigga talk to you like that? This motherfucker gotta go. And that motherfucker was like, oh, I gotta get up out of here. And I even had the audacity to take him to where he had to go. I'm just like, I gotta get him out of here because I don't want my kids in my personal business. But he had needed some money. We still was together. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was gone. Because it was the sex. I guess. I don't know. He used to walk around the room booty naked, slanging like, woo, woo. Talking shit and all this shit. And I don't know. He was just different. And this last particular time, he had gave me a bunch of money, you know what I'm saying? And he needed some money. And I had ended up spending the money he had gave me. And I was like, shit, I ain't got what you looking for. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, give me one of them cars you got. And I was like, what? He was like, I'm going to pay it back. And he has done that before. I have let him use one of my cards. And he maxed the whole card out. But he paid it right back. Before it was even due, made my credit score go up tremendously and all type of shit. So I had trusted him, at least in that area for sure. Man, I had gave him that card. This motherfucker, like on my card, every time you spend it, it show you where it's being spent at. This mug was spending $300-400 at Walgreens. I'm like, what the fuck? He was at the Red Roof Inn, like... I was just able to track everything he was doing with my card. I'm like, fuck no, this nigga just doing reckless shit with my card. And once I seen he was at the Red Roof Inn, I'm calling him. He ain't answering. I'm calling. And then I had a vision. Like, it's one thing with me, you know. I might be naive in a lot of shit, at least I used to, but I got God. And when I ask God and I'm crying to God, God revealed great hidden things to me that no man would otherwise know. I have always had God. If my mom didn't do anything that I appreciated in my childhood, she sent us to church. And I knew God at an early age. But I had started crying. 2024 was just on the clock. And I started asking God to show me and reveal. I had a vision, a premonition in my third eye, in my mind, like I was there, that this motherfucker was in a room in the hot tub with a dark skinned chick. And I said, what? I'm blowing him up, FaceTiming. He never cut the phone off. FaceTiming. I'm going, what? You know, and I'm like, all right, cancel this motherfucking card. I closed the card up, locked that motherfucker, because shit, it was almost maxed out in one day. And he finally called me back and he was in the car. I said, why you in the motherfucking car? I can just hear it. I didn't know he was in the car. I just was seeing, God was showing me shit like I have never been seen before. Like things were being revealed to me like I was right there. And he was like, how you know I'm in the car? I said, because I can see you, but I meant to say hear you. But I said see you, but I seen them. And he was just talking like I was full of shit and I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. But motherfucker, little did he know that all the pings was hitting my phone every time he spent my card. But so I was like, man, this shit. He had maxed my card. You know what I'm saying? He was like, why the card ain't working? I was like, cause you maxed it. But in real talk, I canceled it and it had a few hundred on there. I think that was a $10,000 card. And it was just a few hundred on there. And I'm like, I can't let him spend it all. You know what I'm saying? So I locked the card up. I told him that they canceled the card out because he maxed the card out. And he believed that dumbass shit. And he was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to pay you back. So I wanted him to pay me back. So I stayed with him because I'm like, if I leave him now, even though I'm in despair, heart broken, heart shattered, this mug drug me through the mud instantaneously because he started off gaslighting me. I didn't know what a narcissist was until I met him. I didn't know what a gaslighter was until I messed with him. Oh, man, I want to find the narcissist card and see what it says. I didn't know what a manipulator like that was to the 33 to third degree. The narcissist. Lack of empathy. The motherfucker did not care. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker was exploiting me to the whole community here. No boundaries. Self it says self it's I'm gonna read it from the beginning. The narcissist lack of sympathy for others. Exploit those. It says, what does that say? Exploit those arrogant, egotistical, manipulative, no boundaries, self-centered, self-sabotage, self-absorbent, entitled, aggressive behaviors, abusive, sneaky, playing the victim, stonewalling, passive aggressive behavior here. The narcissist, this motherfucker will suffer like hell every day. Death ladder. 43:34 on the clock here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never knew a narcissist until I met him. And so I was like, I can't let him go because he owed me all this money. And he kept saying, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you back. All the shit I done for you, I'm going to pay you back. And I was like, bet. But he wasn't paying me back. He wasn't trying to pay me back. He wasn't even barely coming to the house, and I was just like, you know what? I'm hurt. I'm broken. I'm sad. I'm mad at myself. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker done did me dirty, and I'm in a sunken place. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. And so before I let him go, he was still broke because he spent all that money. He did a ritual. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I need to call my about to lie and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about this. And so he called some people, I don't know where they were, Nigeria or wherever the fuck they were, to do some type of ritual to break a curse on his money. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, can I see? And he was like, yeah, you can see how it go down. He sent $1,200 to them to do a ritual to break a curse on his money. So I'm about to be choked out. And he might be watching me secretly. You know what I'm saying? This man. So he sent $1,200 to these people, and he might be mad about it. Sent $1,200 to these people to break this curse on his money. He said when he was in prison, somebody put a curse on him regarding some type of money, just block his money. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't think much of it. And I wanted to see how it go down, because only type of, witchcraft I ever seen was on TV. Time to Kill and shit like that. Like, you remember them old movie Time to Kill? I can't think of the guy's name, but where they do the voodoo shit on the certain movies, Time to Kill. I can't think of the guy's name. But that's the only time I ever seen rituals or voodoo done on TV. And other than that, I didn't ever know nothing about voodoo, because my family ain't never exposed that to me or nothing. But so he was on FaceTime with these people. Once he paid that money, a couple days later, they called him, and he speak their language. It's not English. He speak their language, and they was speaking language. And so it was dark. They was like in the basement in the underground where it was dirt, and they had a goat and a chicken or something, a rooster, whatever the fuck it was. They had a goat and a rooster. They cut the goat head off first. Bow! And the bleeding blood everywhere. They got the goat head splashing the blood all across the wall, and they put it on a stick. So in the corner of a wall, it was like candles and sticks. So I guess that was the altar. They did that one. Then they did the chicken. They cut the chicken off. But it was like the chicken, I think it was the goat head. The goat head probably was harder to come off, because it wouldn't just come off. I don't know if their knife was dull or what. But they got it off, splashed the blood. They cut the chicken like bow and splashed the blood on the wall. They saying things like, they saying stuff. And I don't understand what they saying. And there's women around with no shirt. They just got, their titties is hanging out, and they had on these skirts, but they were made of wood. And they was like about 4 to 5 inches, and 2 inches apart from each other, so you can see through it. And they had tambourines, and they was doing all this noise was going on, and they was all saying something and chanting at one time. And the chicken head was still squeaking or squirreling or whatever you want to call it once they cut the head off and stuck it on the stick. So they stuck the goat head on the stick, and they stuck the chicken head on the stick, and the chicken head was still squirreling, and they all doing this tambourining and shit. They writing shit in the sand, like doing shit in the sand, throwing rocks and stones and shit in the sand. They saying shit. I get out because I was in the camera. I get out the camera like, I start calling on God. I start praying over my kids and over my home. Like, because I ain't never seen no shit like this. And he on his knees praying. They had him repeating the same thing that they were saying, which I don't know what they were saying because it wasn't in English. But I'm like, Lord, God, Holy Spirit, I'm not of this. And I rebuke this. You know what I'm saying? I don't give consent to this. I'm saying whatever I think I know to protect me and my kids from this shit that didn't look right to me. It just didn't look right to me. And so I get out the camera and shit, and I go downstairs, and I'm still praying. And he come down, and I was like, oh, so you done? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, what they say? What they say? What they say? He was like, so they said that the curse will be broken, but know that you will have a spirit attached to you. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, they said I'm going to have a spirit attached to me. And I was like, oh, and I just didn't think nothing of it. We had sex that night. He used to always try to get, we always drink a lot. He was doing some type of drug. So I didn't know what it was. I'm just being myself, being true here. I didn't know what the drug was. But he would go to Grand Rapids and get this piece of paper. And he will smoke this paper in his blacks or in his blunts or something. And he was doing it all the time. And I was like, what is that you smoking? And he was like, you want to try it? I was like, well, how would it make you feel? What is that on the paper? And I said, why is you just smoking paper? Like, like he didn't never tell me what the fuck it was. And I didn't know what it was. And I hit it a few times and it made me feel weird. And I'm not a dope head. So, and I'm just like, I'm happy. Thank God that I don't have an addictive personality. Because somebody gave me crack before too. Somebody, just to cut the story, maneuver over here. When I was about 16, I was standing next door to these people and they had called me over. They were grown. I was 16 and they was in their late 20s. They called me over to smoke, you know what I'm saying? So I'm over there smoking with them. And the weed start crackling and popping and my tongue get numb, my throat get numb. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they laughing. So I thought it was the seeds. Because, back then it was a lot of seeds in the weed. And I'm like, damn, this shit ain't even hitting right. So I try to hit it again and I get real numb in the mouth. And I'm like, ugh, what the fuck? I said, what's this? And they just laughing. So I just leave, and I go home and I tell my mom that, what happened, that I was smoking weed with them and my mouth is numb and my throat is numb. And all she was like was, oh, baby, they gave you crack. And I was just like, so I smoked crack before. And, she didn't do nothing about it. She didn't go confront them or nothing. But I guess it was my fault because I was being grown at an early age, 16, smoking with grown motherfuckers. But my upbringing was so devastating due to crack cocaine. So, but yeah, not because I smoke crack cocaine, because that's the environment I was brought in. But back to him, I smoked it a couple times with him probably that day. And I was just like, no, I don't think that's something that I want. And he got mad because, I didn't want it. So he started wanting to give me sleeping pills and all this shit. And I'm just like, this motherfucker want to have me doped up and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. So he did that ritual. And y'all, I'm about to cut this short, so it's gonna be a part 2 because I gotta use the bathroom. But he did that ritual, and them people told him that it was gonna be a spirit attached to him. 2 days later, he invested in that shit on his own. So this is a young person. Naivety, you know what I'm saying? He gave them a little money for the shit that they did that fucked him up. So they told him it was going to be a spirit attached to him. And I was like, so what is it, a good spirit or a bad spirit? And he got mad at me. He was like, they just said it was going to be a spirit. And I was like, oh, okay. 2 days later, that night we have sex, 2 days later, he gets up out the bed. It was early in the morning. When you got a partner, if you don't sleep heavy, you can feel when that partner get up. You can feel when they roll over. When they checking their phone. If you alert, everybody might not be, but I felt when he got up, and I kept my eyes closed. When your eyes closed, you can still tell that the light is. You could tell that the light is on, or you can tell that the light is off. I did. He got up. My back, I was turned towards the wall. My face was turned towards the wall. He got up, turned on the light, but I still didn't get up. And I didn't hear him walk down the stairs. It had just got quiet. And it was, I don't know how long it was. And he sat on a few minutes later, he sat on the bed. And I rolled over and I was like, what's wrong? I said, did you go downstairs? And he was like, no. I was like, well, what's wrong? And he was like, man, he turned so let me go back a little bit. When he got up to go use the bathroom, I felt him get up. I didn't see him turn on the light, but I knew he turned on the light. I had the light that you pull. I heard it and I seen it even though my eyes was closed. And then he turned it back off. And then he came and sat down on the bed. When he sat down on the bed, it's 53:35 on the clock. Death. When he came and sat back down on the bed, he said that he saw a black shadow. I said, what? And so I sat up. He said, I saw a black shadow that scared the fuck out of me. And he was like, I turned the light on and I turned the light off. I said, yeah, I saw that, but I didn't see it. I just knew it, because I seen it with my eyes closed. Try it yourself. Demonstrate it. Close your eyes. Turn the light on. Turn the light off. You will know that the light is on or off. So, and I was like, yeah, I saw that. And I was like, what? He was like, I seen the shadow and it formed. He was like, when I first seen it scared me. He was like, I jumped back and I clicked the light back off. He said, but it was still there. He said all he seen was a black shadow. And it had 2 red beams, like for eyes. 2 red dots for eyes. And he said he was scared, but he's postured up at it. You know what I'm saying? He said once he postured up at it, it started shaping into a body. You know what I'm saying? It formed, but it was still just a black shadow. And he said the eyes started forming out more. So it's all black. Now we got shapes of an eye. Black shadow shaped like an eye, but they red. And he said that the thing lifted his arm out to him. And so he put his arm out like this to accept whatever the thing gave him. Y'all know that thing, the man told him he was going to have a spirit on him. 55:05 on the clock. He accepted what the thing gave him, and he looked in his hand and said that it was a roach, a big ass roach. And he got scared and dropped the roach, and the black shadow disappeared. He was scared as fuck. So I'm in the bed like, you think that's a good spirit? I said, that's like the devil. That motherfucker got so mad at me, he spazzed the fuck out. And I was like, it's like you the devil and I'm the motherfucking angel and shit. This you accepting roaches and shit, motherfuckers doing this voodoo shit, and you got this shit going on. Like, and at that time, I was just done. Like, I'm like, I can't be with him no more. This month, 5:55:44 on my clock. He owed me money. I don't give a fuck about that money no more. This motherfucker gotta go. And I had to get rid of him. Like, fuck that $10,000 because he owed me $10,000. Only person know is my kids and another motherfucker that I told. You know what I'm saying? And if he watching me, he know. And the motherfucker that did this shit to me know who I'm talking about. So I was like, fuck this shit. You got to get out of here. I don't give a fuck about this. I care for you, but I love me more. You know what I'm saying? I'm being guided. This shit that we going through, it was happening for a reason. It was a fun time, but it ain't for a long time. You got to go. He was like, I'm going to still pay you your money. And he moved with ease. Like, he got out of my way with ease. You know what I'm saying? At least I thought he did. So he got out, you know what I'm saying? He was already cheating on me anyway, so it was easy for him to leave and go lay up with another motherfucker. So I was just like hurt. You know, I slept on the floor for weeks. I was hurt. I've been hurt before. Real love I'm looking for. You know, I was hurt and I just started trying to heal myself. You know, I started calling on God. I started taking a lot of baths and healing myself, looking in ways to heal myself, ways that I didn't know how to heal myself. I knew to cry it out, and I started saying, I forgive him, I forgive him, I forgive him, and just doing things to help me heal. You know what I'm saying? And I started forgiving him, but he started coming into my life again. Like months later, like, I'm still gonna give you that money, you know, I'm working on it. I was like, oh, he really still want to give me the money, you know, that because he took that, he owed me. So he had crashed my car when we was together. He paid to get my car repaired, got the whole front bumper redone. He got me brand new tires that he didn't have to do, you know what I'm saying? So he paid for that, but he was like, I'm still gonna give you your money. Bet. He had, you know, when he came to pay for them tires, this motherfucker had a stack of credit cards like this. And I was like, oh, this motherfucker out here scamming. And then he had mail coming to my house talking about Blase Split Management. So he had some type of fake business called, so I'm not going to say his name, but y'all know if y'all know, Blase Split Management. And I was like, this motherfucker, and it was like $70,000, $80,000 in the hole. They wanted their money for that whip that he totaled out. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh, he going through it. So, long story short on that, he never paid me the money. I was like, well, I chalked it up when I let him out the house. You know what I'm saying? I was like, start praying to God, and it was just like, I know God gonna reimburse me twice as much more. And it was a lesson I had to learn in that whole situation, and I forgive myself for even accepting that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's hard lessons I had to go through. That was just another one added to the motherfucking totem pole. You know what I'm saying? So I forgave him and I forgive him. You know what I'm saying? With love. I found out what I needed to know, got the clarity and confirmation, and I forgive him. I still do right now. Like, I don't want no bad blood for him. But he came back a few times and was trying to get back with me. It was like, you know, I'm sorry for what I did. We should just make it right. 58:58 on the clock. He was like, let's just go back up in your room and do some Netflix and chilling and have some sex. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, I heard it when I was with you, and I did care for you genuinely. Like, my feelings was authentic for you. It ain't because of what you had, because you didn't have shit when I met you. You know, I supported you in the beginning and you got on with me. And, you know, so I don't want you. I'm good. This motherfucker was like, let's just go back upstairs and Netflix and chill and start all over. No, I'm good. Thank you, but no thank you. And he was like, I should push your motherfucking ass over in this chair because I was sitting outside. And I was like, yeah, your true self showing her now. He was like, I should push your motherfucking ass over in this chair. I was like, well, why the fuck would you do that? He was like, your ass just too motherfucking strong. I tried to break your motherfucking ass. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, the audacity. This motherfucker being real. Because I said in the beginning, y'all, I felt like he could be honest, but you know, whatever. He was like, I tried to break your motherfucking ass. He was like, I put pictures on on my motherfucking altar and all type of shit. He was like, you a motherfucking witch. And I ain't never been called a witch before. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, what the fuck this motherfucker talking about? The Mexican from across the street comes outside with no shirt on, a big ass belt buckle, and his boots, his cowboy boots. And he was grabbing onto his belt like, get the fuck away from Jenny. Get the fuck away from Jenny. Jenny too good for you. You don't deserve Jenny. Get the fuck away from here. And then a young white boy across the street came outside and was like, Jen, you straight? You straight, Jen? So they heard he God, I felt like I was just being protected, you know? And then he was like, you got motherfuckers helping you and protecting you and shit. Of course. He's like, everybody love your motherfucking ass. I tried to take your ass out. And I'm like, this motherfucker for the streets. And I'm just listening to what he's saying because I'm like, I'm not about to argue with him. He already want to push me over in the chair and shit. And I'm just sitting there. And so out of nowhere, I hear it's like a wind fly past my face and my ears like, get this motherfucker out your yard. It made me look like who is right there? I was like, huh? But it was nothing there, but I heard it. And so once that happened, I heard, even he heard it, like wood was breaking, like you would have thought a tree was breaking down. And we both looked. And I was like, oh, my ancestor said you got to get the fuck up out of here. He was like, yeah, I heard that shit. I said, oh, you heard that? He heard the tree breaking, but it wasn't a tree breaking. And I said, well, yeah, you got to get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And he talked to the Mexican. They spoke Spanish together. The Mexican went into his house and got him a fifth of tequila. He sat on my curb and was drinking the tequila, crying, yelling, screaming. And I just went in the house and closed my door. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, that was one of the things that hurted me. You know what I'm saying? Trauma. But I was able to heal from that. I seen this dude last month at the library and he was not looking good at all. He was like, you still mad at me? I was like, no, I've been forgave you. You know what I'm saying? I forgive you and I don't want no bad to happen to you, but shit, life be life. And so he was like, how you doing? And I wasn't trying to give him no information on me. You know what I'm saying? Look what I seen. I wasn't trying to give him no information on me. Glory be to God. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do that hurt people shit, that shit come back around. And you fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But that motherfucker said he tried to break me. Take me out the game. And it's like, nah, motherfucker, I know motherfuckers like you. I've been dealing with motherfuckers like you before. But you was the best of all of them. You was the worstest one I ever came up against. I'm thankful that I was able to get out of that situation, and we were together for 9 months of nothing but turmoil. It's like the tower, nothing but turmoil, good sex, gaslighting, toxic shit, you know what I'm saying? And that toxic shit was fun. I ain't even gonna lie, but it's not the right thing. You know, you go nowhere fast. And I forgive him, so I was able to heal from that, you know, so I put my thing down, you flip it and reverse it. I'm going to get a couple cards and we're going to do a part 2. So this is part 1 of my trauma. I've been hurt before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, real love is what I'm looking for. Genuine love, authentic love. But this is how this motherfucker was coming. With little to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Smooth words, quick words. Praying on a motherfucker downfall here, putting in that work. You gotta watch out for them narcissists because they will gaslight your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Gaslight you, woo you, love you, dick you down real good, give you everything you want. They looking for prey. You know what I'm saying? But I healed from that mug. I realized, you know, the love I'm looking for is within. So yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2, so I'll be back, y'all. I'm going to the bathroom, intermission break on. I'll be back with a part 2 on how I've been hurt and, you know, how I healed from those situations and the one thing that I can't heal from. So yeah, I put my thing down. You flip it in reverse. I didn't expect for this to. They just told me to pause it. So I'm gonna pause it and see how that works, and then I'll be back. Okay, KK, we back, y'all. I've been hurt before. Real love, I'm looking for. So yeah, I have healed through a lot of trauma, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of endings, a lot of deceit, but justice is here, you know. Just talking about my hurt, my trauma from the past, things that I have been hurt, that have hurt me, and I have healed from. But the one thing I'm just not fortunate enough to heal from at this time, unless God give me that, you know. So what else, Lord, that you want me to reveal for the collective about my life, my life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine? So I'm on display. So 2023, we're gonna go to 2023. In 2023, I was hurt a lot. You know what I'm saying? With people, relationships, friends. It was this one particular relationship. You know, I wasn't with this man, but we was having sex. We was hanging out. We was going on trips. You know what I'm saying? He made me think that he wanted to be with me. You know, he wanted to be married. And it didn't work out that way. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was playing me. He was deceiving me, playing on my top. He only came around when he wanted sex. And it was like I didn't want that. We played that game for like four years. And he wasn't telling me I was his girlfriend. I would ask him, you know, like, where we going? Are we going to become more? You know, we should start living together and start building and growing. He was creating a business. I had started my business in 2021. Yeah, and he would just get mad and say, like, why you just can't be happy with what we got? You know what I'm saying? And just say little things. And I was just like, I'm not happy with what we got because we're not getting anywhere. You just come over 2-3 days a week and have sex. Every now and then you give me something because you feel like you have to give me something because you having sex. I didn't require nothing from him. You know what I'm saying? The bare minimum, I was getting breadcrumbs. I wasn't asking for nothing. He wasn't paying my bills, nothing. He'd take me out to eat sometimes, but I would take him out to eat too. You know, I felt like he was cheating a lot. You know, I was giving him a lot of love. You know, I just felt like I'm just going to love him and show him that I love him, invest in him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to, what is it called? Audition for the part. You know, like the fuck. I was just trying to show him how true and authentic I am, and like I can be there for him, and I could be one of those, you know, be down for him. And I think he played on that. He thought I loved him so much that I wouldn't leave him. And I was just fed up, you know. He ghosts me, not show up, and just a bunch of little childish shit, you know. So I started isolating myself from him. I started going through my healing journey. I started healing. After that last relationship, I really did some healing. I started doing some introspecting, some soul searching, releasing things that didn't serve me. I stopped hanging out with a lot of people that I used to hang out with. I stopped doing a lot of things. And with him, he had started to trigger me like that other guy did. So I had started isolating myself from him. I had started fasting. I had stopped eating at certain things. I stopped drinking certain things. You know, I stopped putting energy into him. And he would ride past at night, you know what I'm saying, seeing if I was home because he thought I was cheating. And it was just like, no, I just needed clarity because I was calling on God again. Like, show me who this man is. If this person ain't supposed to be in my life, remove him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him because it don't seem like we going nowhere. We not growing. He not investing. He only coming over to get what he want. Like, I was being treated like a mattress back, a jump off. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't happy with that. This motherfucker was getting his rocks off. Like, I was just being used. So after so long, the last time how I got fed up with him, it was like, you know, he was coming over just for sex, and I was like, is we doing anything? He got upset, and He came over and spent that night with me, and early that morning he wanted to get up and leave. Well, early that morning he had to get up and go to work, and I had the thoughts that he was going to come back here after work, but he didn't come back. He went to Kalamazoo, hung out and all that stuff or whatever. Long story short, I was just like, you know what? I'm just done. Whatever. I'm fed up with all this merry-go-round shit we doing, this childish shit that we doing. It ain't nothing about it grown and sexy. We ain't building. We getting old. You know what I'm saying? And you just for the streets at this point. And I was just like, I'm done. And I was just like, at all that time, I had already did my crying. All in my mind, I had already released him. You know what I'm saying? And so it was easy for me to say that I was done because I had already went through that heartache stage and crying without him knowing. And so when that time came and he ghosted me for the last time, I was like, yeah, I'm done. And he thought it was just going to be for a few times because we had went through that situation before where I kept saying I was done, but I kept letting him back in. So I told him I was done. 3 days later, he thought he was going to be able to just come back. And I was like, no, I'm done. And I stood on business. You know what I'm saying? This was in 2023. And so, like, he felt like I had deceived him or something because I called it quits. And I'm like, no, I just don't want you no more. And that should just be it. If a person don't want you no more, that should be just what it is. Because if a person didn't want me, I would have to just stand on that and just reflect on the shit that I did to cause them to not want me anymore. Or just maybe they just don't want me no more. And so he couldn't take that. That motherfucker got mad. That motherfucker didn't like that. I didn't want to lay on my back with him no more and bust it open. You know, because he wasn't even a real nigga. I was, you know, I was a whack ass nigga. But I was accepting him because I thought like potential was there. But he was nasty to me anyway. He says nasty shit to me. He was deceptive. You know, and I ain't even gonna go in on him because I don't want to make this video so long. We're an hour in. So I let him go, and he got crazy to where I had to get a PPO out on him. And I ain't gonna put his name out there, but because I forgive him, but I had to get the PPO out on him. I had to get him served and everything because in 2023, once I let him go, he stalked me for still probably stalking me. You know, I sent him the other day, but I had him served, so he stay away now. He don't make it known. I'll be at the store, grocery store. He pop up like, oh, you here? I'll be at Bailey Park feeding the birds. He pop up like, oh, my heart brought me here. You know, little things. Always turning up with gifts on my porch, flowers on my porch, but he never gave me none of that shit when I was with him. He never gave me flowers. He never surprised me with gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got more gifts when I left him than I did when we was kicking it. Never gave me flowers at all, you know, and it was just crazy how he was just always there. And this one time, I used to work third shift at Bronson. I was working third shift. And so I had got in a car accident in 2023 as well. And Bronson closed down in 2023, so I didn't have a job anymore. And so I always was up at night because I was a third shifter. And at this one particular time, at 5 a.m., I was up. And it was winter, so it was in December. He came to my house, and he knocked on the door. And I had got cameras because I was scared because he was always stalking me. And I had told him he was scaring me. But it's like when I told him he was scaring me, he had started doing it more. I'm like, oh, he getting off on this shit. Like, he doing it more. Even though I told him to scare me, like, he doing crazy shit, like this weird shit, coming up to my house 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, pulling my trash can to the curb and shit he ain't never did when we was together. Coming over at 5 o'clock in the morning, shoveling my driveway, my walkway, walking around my car. I don't know if he got a tracker on there and that's how he knew everywhere I was at when he was stalking me, when he was making it noticeable. But this one particular time, he came to my house at 5 a.m. He brought a bag of salt and put it on my stairs, shoveled my walkway, salted the walkway. And I'm like, this motherfucker out here doing this bullshit. He's stalking me. I know he's stalking me. But he trying to look like to outsiders, like if my neighbors seen him, that he helping me. But that's not what it was. So he shoveled the walkway. He put the salt out. I'm watching him on the camera. He walk around my car, but I didn't see him put nothing on my car. So he come back to the door. Now he knock on the door, calling my name. Jen. I'm down. I'm in the front room. I'm like, this motherfucker. I'm peeking out the window, watching on the camera. Because when I couldn't see him in the peripheral of the camera, I was looking out the window. And I'm like, this motherfucker better not turn this doorknob while he knocking on the door and shit. So I run and get my gun. Heart like boom, 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 because I don't want to have to shoot him. And it's like, he better not turn my doorknob. He knocking on my door, knocking on my door, go to my back door, knock on the door, knock on the door. Look like he trying to peek in through my side window and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, this nigga? I don't know why I didn't think to call the police. I started calling on my ancestors. I started calling on my ancestors because I'm not a snitch, but damn, you scaring me. But then I will get you. I will get you. You know, I will call the police. I will tell. So it's like, so I'm like, okay, I'm by the door. I start flipping out. I'm calling on my ancestors. And in the other room, I start hearing footprints like somebody in the room. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm scared. I cock the gun. I go to the room and I'm like, ooh, if he came through the window or if he got somebody with him and they open this door, I'm going to shoot their ass. But my hand like this. My hand like this with the gun. Knees get weak as fuck. And so then I hear like somebody, I'm thinking I'm hearing somebody walking in the room. So then I hear the door in the front room knob turn. I said, what the fuck? So the wall between the front room and that other room is only about this big, wide. So I get in the middle of that wall and I turn towards the front room with the gun. But y'all, heart beating on 10, knees is weak. Talk about weak. I'm falling down. I ain't never been so weak in my knees in my life. And my hand is like this, gun like this. I'm trying to hold that motherfucker because it's cocked. But I don't have my finger on the trigger because my hand was shaking so bad. Motherfucker turning the doorknob. I say, if he come in here, Lord, I'm going to shoot him. And I don't want to have to shoot him. I'm asking my ancestors to guide me and protect me. Protect me and guide me. Lord, guide me. Knocking on the door. And I just started praying. I'm in between that wall. And he leave. And he gone. He leave. And so it's like 5. So he stayed out there for like an hour or so. Boom. It's daylight now. Because I blocked him on whatever I can block him from. Calling my phone, social medias, but he had made fake accounts because he was still commenting on my YouTube and shit. And so about 9-10 o'clock, he emailed me and sent me some pictures. I was still woke. I couldn't sleep. I'm still scared. I still ain't called the police. Still ain't even thought about the police. I'm calling my ancestors. So, but before he messaged me, I went into the room because I'm like, is the window open? I heard footsteps in there. Nothing. No footsteps. Nobody in there. The window locked. I'm thinking that's my ancestors now because I heard footsteps in there like motherfucker was shuffling around in there. I'm home alone. Nobody in the room. Windows locked. Okay. Only thing I could think of, I was calling on my ancestors. I'm calling on God. Was that? Okay. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock roll around. He emails me. I see the email. He done been in a massive car accident. I was like, totaled his truck up, calling on me to come help him and shit. I said, that's what the fuck you get. You know what I'm saying? You think I don't know you was outside my house, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? I'm in here. I ain't telling him I was scared and I ain't telling him I had the gun. I just told him that's what the fuck you get. You think I ain't know you was just outside and you want me to come help you and you been walking around my car, knocking on my door, turning my doorknob and shit at night, 5 o'clock in the morning? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, judgment, and he could be watching this video. I forgive you. I forgive him. I healed from that. You know, I let that situation go, but this mug stalked me to this day. He had got real nasty, started calling me the narcissist, started calling me the manipulator, like I played him or deceived him in a way. And I just didn't want to be with him no more because I felt like the relationship, to make a long story short, because I don't want to bash him. I just felt like the relationship wasn't going nowhere. He wasn't investing in me. You know, I felt like I was giving him more of my love, my time, being honest and genuine and authentic with him, pouring into him. He started feeling good off my energy, like he was the shit, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't investing back into me. So I was like, let me just take my energy back, leave you alone, and go about my way. This mug turned evil towards me. I'm the narcissist. I'm the manipulator. You know, I played him. Never cheated on him. Nothing. Well, so I have cheated some time in my life in the past. So this guy that I'm talking about now, we used to kick it in the past, 2015. and I accepted him back. So that's why he ended up playing me, because I left him then too. You know what I'm saying? He played me then too. But before we got back together, I asked him, did you heal from what we've been through? Do you forgive me for leaving you? Even though I felt like it was still his fault for me leaving him. He said, yeah, like I don't hold no grudges. I'm not holding no grudges with you. But this time around, when I gave him that second chance, he played me even worse. So if a motherfucker show you their true colors and they play you initially, and then time go by, and you link up with them again, don't think it's going to get any better, especially if they have not put in that healing work. He told me he did, and he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And it left me in despair, heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like he came to make it worse for me. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, I don't want it. So I forgive him, and I forgive him with love, because those guys, they didn't do nothing to me that I didn't allow them to do. You know what I'm saying? I allowed them to do what they did, and I accepted it multiple times because I have a forgiving heart. And I continue to heal past that. But how much am I supposed to take with the same person that showed me that they not really for me? So I have to end it. So I forgive him and I move on. But that mug had got bad, and I had to get a PPO out on him because he was scaring me to the 10th power. And I don't want to shoot nobody. I'm not a killer, but don't push me. As scared as I was still willing to do what I had to do. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never shot nobody before and don't want to have to. But my God, Lord rose for me with haste. Within hours, that motherfucker was in a massive car accident. I was in this motherfucker shaking. Hating on me will make your situation worse. I'm not who you want to come up against, because I done seen motherfuckers go through it fucking with me. And I ain't did nothing but be loving and genuine and authentic. Granted, it's a test it's a lesson in a blessing. Something I had to learn throughout the duration of dealing with these two situations. But I heal from that, and I forgive them with love, and I continue to heal. They say you attract what you are, and that could be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only been around toxic shit all my life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know no better, so I didn't do no better. And now that I continue to isolate myself from things that I don't want to accept anymore, and I continue to heal to be a better person, it's just, I just can't help but to probably attract the goodness, you know what I'm saying, as I continue to heal and forgive and love, and it starts from self. I have to forgive myself as well for accepting the bare minimum, you know what I'm saying. I can't just go off potential, I can't just go off what you say, 10 of cups. And I lead with love all the time, true intentions, but I forgive them. But with that situation with me having my job, I was working my job for 8 years. And the job was deceiving as well. I made good money at Bronson. I worked at Bronson Fieldstone. I liked the job because I was able to make my own hours, at overtime, working 12 and 16-hour shifts. I bought my Buick LaCrosse. I had good credit. Justice here. I had good credit. Got my Buick LaCrosse. I went to my bank. They gave me a $1,500 check. $15,000 check. Just gave it to me like, I was like, okay, I probably could have got more, but shoot, I got me a Buick LaCrosse from the Chevy dealer in Grand Rapids, and I felt like, yeah, come through, and I had that mug, and that mug was paid off in 2023. So I had got it in like 2019 or whatever. Yeah. And I only had just a few years, and I paid that right off in 2023. Working at Bronson Fieldstone. And the worst day of my life that I haven't been healed, that I seem to can't heal from, came about. You know what I'm saying? In that car. 3 of Pentacles. Hermit. 9 of Pentacles. Working at the job, investing in the job. The job was kind of bullshit because I don't feel like my boss was genuine. I don't feel like a lot of the employees was genuine, but I ain't here to I healed from all that shit. I forgive all those ones that did me wrong, treated me wrong at work, talked behind my back. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers gonna do what they gonna do. And I felt like I was always genuine with them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I shared my life with them. I invested in them. I gave to them. And I felt like they just always was backstabbers. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that just not happy. They just backstabbing ass motherfuckers. And I forgive them. That's just who they are. And but one time I was leaving work. I was leaving work, y'all. And I had a dentist appointment at like 8:30. And I was leaving work. I had stopped at the Shell gas station going down Capital Southwest. And I'm leaving the gas station. Maybe if I didn't stop at the gas station, I probably wouldn't have never got hit. This chick riding, I didn't even see her. I'm riding, I'm doing speed limit, and I was gonna get me a drink that morning, but I was like, no, I ain't gonna get no drink because they're gonna be all in my mouth. Just a White Claw, just a cooler, because I work third shift and I want to wind that energy down. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna get no cooler. I'm just gonna go ahead and let them do my tooth and get on up out of there. So I'm just now pulling out of the side parking lot of the gas station, the Shell gas station on Capital Southwest. And I get a little ways down the street, and this chick crashed into me with her SUV. I'm going down. It says what I was going northbound. Yeah, I was going northbound. So what was Capital Northwest? North? No, so northbound, but on Capital South West here. And I'm just riding, doing the speed limit. I try to be on cruise control all the time. I'm doing the speed limit. And she coming, and I see her coming, but out of nowhere, she just like boom and hit me, turned me all the way to the side. And before she hit me, I'm riding, and I see her coming. You know what I'm saying? But she was driving fine. And I see her coming, and then out of nowhere, she turned towards me. Like, she coming this way, but out of nowhere, she turned towards me. And I look in the rear view mirror, and I'm like, oh, they gonna hit me in the back too. All these thoughts going through my head. And I just braced tight, and I said, Lord. And I heard God say, brace yourself. And I just held tight, like I had on long ass 2-inch nails and everything. I called on God, and I heard, brace yourself. And I just got tight. And boom, hit me, turned me all the way to the side, turned me to the side. And once it was over, I couldn't see because all my airbags deployed. It was smoky in the car, and I just started crying, like my feelings was hurt. And I was just like, okay, am I okay? Like, am I okay? Because I couldn't see. I was like, am I okay? And I just started feeling myself. My nails was broke all the way down, so my nails was bleeding. The whole driver's side was crashed in, so my knees was stuck. And I was like, where's my phone? I'm shaking. I don't know how to feel. And my phone was on the floor, so I'm trying to reach that, and I can't reach it. My sun visor was open. And so the smoke going out, and so I was like, let me try to get out. And I couldn't open the door, so I'm crying. I'm just crying, and I was like, I can't get my phone. And this tall white guy looked over the sun visor and was like, are you okay in there? And I'm just crying, and I was just like, no. And he was like, can you get out? And I was like, no. And so he helped me get out and everything. And I just kept calling on God, saying, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Like, my knees was hurting. My arms was hurting. My hand was hurting. My neck was hurting. My back. But I was like, I can walk. And I was like, thank you, God. I was so happy that I can get out and walk. And so he helped me out the car, and I hear this white lady was like, I seen it all. I seen it all. She was like, I'll help you. And the lady that hit me, I have her name and stuff here, but I'm not going to say her name and stuff. I'm mad, but I forgive them. I'm mad because I'm still hurt. So the white lady that seen it, she was like, I seen it all. I was walking my daughter and I seen it all. She was like, I'll help you in this, whatever. And the lady that hit me gets out the car. She's screaming, and whoever was in her car, they take off running. It was like a few of them in their car. They take off running. I'm like, what the fuck? They running and shit. And she just fucked me up like this. Fucked my whole car up. Broke so the whole front end bashed in. I'm going to post all that shit below. The whole front end crashed in, the whole inside into my knees, the axle fell, everything fell, the rim fell, broken half, all type of shit happened. The whole car was total out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, fuck. But I'm a believer of God. And I was just thankful that I was able to walk up out of there. I felt like I got bad treatment from the ambulance. They was like, "Oh, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, thank God." They was like, "Well, you probably can drive yourself to the hospital." And I was like, "What?" They didn't take my blood pressure. They didn't do shit. I was sitting on the curb in despair. Like my mind wasn't right. I was shaking, but I kept thanking God. I don't know if they thought because I was thanking God that I was crazy. I don't know what they thought. So, I called my son and that guy that I was just talking about to come, come to my aid or whatever. He took 2.5 hours to even fucking get there, so it was no rush for him. My son got there and was ready to fuck everybody up. The girl that hit me, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to talk about her, but I forgive her. You know what I'm saying? Accidents happen, and I do forgive you. If you watching this video, I do forgive you. You know what I'm saying? But you hurt me to the point to where, even though it was an accident, to the point where I'm not able to heal. My heart healed, but my body has not healed. So, long story short, I have encountered a bulging disc from C2 to C7 down my neck with chip fragments. Okay, that's just that. So I didn't know I had that. I didn't know what that was when I went to the hospital. I didn't know that's what it was. I wasn't never checking my chart. I wasn't up on checking my chart. None of that. I went to the hospital. They did all these X-rays and stuff. They asked me what was wrong with me. I told them I was sore, I was hurting and stuff like that. They was like, "Oh, that's fine," because I ain't had no real blood, just my hands. They was like, "Well, you was just in a car accident. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be shook up, but you're going to heal. It's going to be okay." And I'm like, "Okay," because I can walk. My knees hurt, my hands hurt, my wrists hurt. Like I was hurting. But they was like, "You're going to be fine." Neck hurt, headache. They was like, "You're going to be fine." All right. Time go by. I'm not fine. Months later, weeks later, I'm not fine. Months later, I'm not fine. I go to the doctor. They send me through physical therapy. They finna sending me through all this stuff. I'm not fine. I'm like, this shit hurt even worse. They was like, "You gon' heal. It just takes some time." My job closed down. All right. I got more time to heal. So I'm not working. I'm just on my ass trying to heal. They like, continue to be active, continue to go to physical therapy. Don't get still because it's going to make you stiff. So I kept trying to do active things, be active. It was becoming worse for me to be active. And I'm like, damn, the more I do, the worse this pain is. You know what I'm saying? And they like, when I'm steady going to the hospital, to the doctor regarding this pain, not knowing about this bulge and this because they haven't been transparent with communicating with this to me, but not saying it wasn't in my charts. So I'm going to the doctor. They prescribing me pain pills for neck spasms, for just a lot of pain. I got pain shooting. So they prescribing me all this prescription. And I'm like, damn, now they giving me all this prescription I ain't never been on before. Like when I went to the hospital, they was like, "Do you want medication?" I was like, "I hurt, but I don't take medication. Like I don't take drugs, but I'm hurting." And they was like, "Do you want anything?" I think they gave me ibuprofen because I didn't want to be doped up. Like I just didn't want to be doped up. And so after some months go by, like my mind ain't right. I'm not working. My mind ain't right. I have brain fog. I can't remember certain things. So by me not working, I don't have insurance. And that's the first thing I was thinking, like, dang, I can't go to the doctor. I'm in all this pain, but I don't have no insurance. So I was like, let me try to get Medicaid. So I applied for Medicaid. That takes some time. And after a month or so after that, I get the Medicaid. I go back to the doctor. And when I get to the doctor, they like, "Oh, do you want to use your Allstate insurance?" And I was like, "Yeah." They was like, I said, "I forgot I had that." And they was like, "Yeah, you have Allstate insurance." And they was like, that should cover it. And I was like, "Yeah, I should have been known." I said, "But I forgot." I said, "I don't have nobody to help me. I'm just by myself in despair trying to work through this trauma." And they was like, "Yeah, you have Allstate." So they charge Allstate. Allstate instantly denies it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had went 2-3 months without going to the doctor due to me not knowing that I still had Allstate insurance to cover my accident. I never been in an accident before. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have no help. Nobody helped me. Nobody assisted me. Nobody supported me. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? When I say nobody, nobody. And so I'm like, yeah, so they denied it. And so I'm like, no, I need help. And so I get some good advice from some people, and they like, yeah, try to, get a lawyer, try to get some help on getting your insurance back through Allstate because you still going through this trauma. So Allstate like, oh, you got to come to our doctors now, you know what I'm saying, because you haven't been to the doctor in a while, and, we dropped you. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, but I forgot. Like, I didn't know. My mind was not there. They never said I had a concussion, but to this day, I still have brain fog. Like, things just drop. Like, I can't remember. I just have problems with my memory. And so, the doctors diagnosed me with bulging disc with chip fragments. That was the initial diagnosis. They sent me to their doctor. All she did was test my reflexes, read other doctors' charts, and listen to my story. And I guess I don't know what her response was to the Allstate insurance, but they told me they will only pay for like a few more months of medication, no more physical therapy, no more treatments or nothing, and that's it. And I was like, dang. So I had to get a lawyer to get help because I'm like, I'm still fucked up. Like, I'm fucked up. My neck, So this is what's happening. Since 2023, since the accident, I got the bulging disc with chip fragments. Bulging disc is that white and gray matter that's pinched in between those bones. Your nerve roots is in there, like roots is in there. That shit clapping on them, that white and gray matter, and that's your nerves. I got nerves, sharp pains out of nowhere. It just come when it want to come. Like, as I go throughout the day and get active, I don't do nothing. I just go grocery shopping. I do the bare minimum because the more I do, the worse it get. Sharp pains through my eyes, shooting through my eyes, constant headaches. I have a headache now. Pain in my neck chronically. Like, I can't turn swift and fast, or it just start triggering things. Spasms constantly in my neck. It do when it want to do it. Once I get to moving and being active, shuffling them cars make my shit hurt. Pain radiating through my arms. Wrist hurting. Hands are numb. It feel like, and forgive me for saying this because I don't want to compare my pain to Jesus's pain. It feel like something being stabbed through the middle of my hands, my fingers, numb. That shit all hurt. All right here, all in here, all up here. These fingers, they gone. You know what I'm saying? When I go to pick a plate up, I can't pick a plate up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just sharp pains all through my upper body. Shoulders, neck, constant headaches, sharp pains through my eyes. I can't just do a swift turn. Turning, driving, all that is hard. I have anxiety driving. I get sharp pains through my right breast. I have sharp pains going in through my body. It just happens. I have sharp pains going through my left leg. It just happens. My foot, just sharp pains, stabbing pains, just radiating pains. Like, it makes me cry and plain, like, in miss sight. Like, soon as it start happening, it's so strong. I just have to sit there and I have to take it. They give me so much medication. That shit makes me sick. Even when I'm on the medication, the pain just come. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, and this is the bad thought, but I was like, shit, I never know what a voodoo doll is, but it's like somebody got a voodoo doll stabbing me. I only can say that because it's like I see that shit on TV. I feel beat the fuck up. I forgive them, but my body cannot heal past that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been hurt before. Real love I'm looking for. I can't heal. My body not healing. It's only getting worse. We're not getting younger. I'm going to the doctors. These motherfucking doctors telling me, oh, you just getting old. I'm like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, the physician, you the doctor. I should be able to tell you what's going on with me, and you know exactly what the fuck going on with me. Why are you prescribing me all this medication then for everything that I'm going through if it's only in my head? Had to get a new doctor. My body getting worse and worse every single day. Like now they prescribe. So every time I go to the doctor, I'm crying. I have these breakdowns and these meltdowns about what's going on in my body because I feel like they're not believing me and I'm traumatized with this shit. Now they saying I'm depressed. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through it. They say I got PTSD and shit. You know, I ain't never had this shit. I never been on the medication I've been on. I never been described depression. I used to work in Fieldstone. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm going through all this shit within my body. And it's just like, this accident was one of the worst things that happened to me within them years. You know what I'm saying? Throughout those relationships and people hurting me. This is one of the worst things because it's not my heart this time. It's my body. You know what I'm saying? Where this motherfucker accidentally, because I'm sure she didn't do it on purpose. Like my arms hurting just by doing this. Crashed into me. And this was like the worst thing of my life to where, because my body is not healing through it. They want to give me this medication to mask the pain. My doctor even said, oh, you just got to live with the pain. Ain't that a bitch? But they ain't giving me no help. And it's just the worst thing that happened to me. And this was in 2023. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to put her name out there. You know, even his name, her boyfriend was the one on the car. He came up and he was so apologetic. Oh, you might see her name on here because I just showed it, but, you know, whatever. But he was so apologetic. Real nice. And I seen him in the store last night. But it's like, oh, I'm so mad because it's like my body hurt. And I have to, it's 14:41 on the clock. I have to deal with this pain every single day. I have a good spirit. I have a good heart. I have a healing heart. You know what I'm saying? And I don't wear the pain. The pain, like, but it wears me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's days that I can't even get up. I sleep in the fucking recliner. You know what I'm saying? Due to this accident. And it's like, dang, Lord, this is the one thing I've been hurt a lot in my life. I've been deceived, manipulated, backstabbed, gaslighted, drugged through the mud, lied on. But this pain is paining. You know what I'm saying? I'm on drugs I ain't never been on that cause all these extra side effects to you. It's like they want to take you out. You think anybody gave me a healthy alternative? In despair. You think anybody gave me a healthy alternative to make it? I'm dealing with motherfuckers that don't believe in me, that ain't listening to me, that don't want to help me. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with karmic doctors, karmic practitioners. These motherfuckers ain't helping me for shit that happened from my past, but I'm being true and authentic about what the fuck is going on with me. Just because I look good and I can wear some shit and I'm strong, that don't mean I should have to suffer because of what somebody else did to me. That's the only thing I have not been able to heal from was this dang on car accident. This shit is traumatizing to my life. You just don't even understand. I can't make this shit up. It's been hard on my body. Leaving me just like this. This is my true story of my life. Of how I've been hurt before. Real love I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I was just led to say this, you know, y'all. About my trauma, my life, my burdens with people that hurt me in the past and how I'm still going through shit from what people hurt me. I haven't hurt nobody from the past. I haven't, not like, I don't know. And if I have, I can't say your version of the story with me. You know, maybe I have hurt you in a way, and if I have, I ask that you forgive me. You know what I'm saying? And I ask that you forgive me. You know, for anything I may have done to you knowingly and unknowingly. It could be a man that feel like I have hurt him and deceived him in a way, but justice is here. In reality, it's like I'm protecting myself from this person here. You guard it and protect it here. It's justice here, but somebody here feel like I hurt them. Feel like I hurt them. So yeah, look, it's a partner here. You know, we ain't even looking at each other, but this motherfucker feel like they want justice with me.
It's a man here. Or it could be the woman. It could be a woman, masculine energy here. Give me another one for this person feel like that I hurt them. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm pissed off. Yeah, I'm mad because I've been hurt so many motherfucking times. And it's like this is the one thing that I'm struggling to heal from. You know, and then the doctors ain't helping me. Look at this shit. The doctors ain't helping me. They not believing in me. They saying that it's all in my head. And it's like, no. The paperwork say this, that, and this. Y'all giving me all these drugs for this, that, and this. So make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. You the doctor, what do the bulging disc cause? What is chip fragments? That's broken pieces of your bone. So I was diagnosed in 2023. I'm hurting so bad they what is it describe diagnosed me with chronic neck pain. So now that the broken disc is there, the fragments, it's degenerative disc. Now they saying it's arthritis in the neck. That shit formed from the broken bones in my neck. They call it chip fragments, degenerative disc, arthritis forming. Why did it come there? I didn't have pain like this before. I was fine before. Kayaking, bike riding, exercising, going to the gym. That shit is done. Let me get out there and try to kayak. Let me get out there and try to bike ride. I feel like I'm paralyzed for the whole day too. Then I got to take all this dope. Headaches start banging. Eyes and pain start shooting through the eyes. Pain radiating through my arm. It's mostly from my waist up. My leg go through it. This left leg is completely weak. My whole equilibrium is off. All because of this car accident. These motherfuckers want to get away with some shit that they did to me. Like, I don't think it's fair. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair. Justice is here. I just don't think it's fair, but justice will prevail here. Glory be to God. And I just wanted to do this little reading on me. You know what I'm saying? To see it's a tower here. Consequences and repercussions are ahead for motherfuckers. And it's all with the passion that they put out. You know what I'm saying? Give me one on this tower and we're going to get on up out of here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is my true life, my story, reading on me about how I've been hurt and how I've been healing and going through things, you know, in my life, you know. And, because, you know, like I said, I forgive all the ones that hurt me, knowingly and unknowingly, you know. And to this chick that caused this accident, you know, I forgive you. You know, life be lifing, you know, and shit, life is lifing for me most definitely. I haven't worked since the accident. Finances is depleted at all costs, and I pray that God balance that out. You know what I'm saying? I tried to go back to work last year. Man, I was in so much agony, and it was only 2 hours. For 2 hours, I couldn't even do the 2 hours. My doctor instantly took me off work, but then they still ain't helping me. My life is lifing, man. Got me feeling stuck here. But look, God is going to bless me with something here. You know what I'm saying? Throughout this duration, I've been stuck. That's go right. And I'm going to be able to walk away from this motherfucking lack. You know what I'm saying? What else before we close it out? Oh, yeah, you watching, and it might be some conflict, you know what I'm saying? But the best thing to do is put it to rest and try to heal, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't did nothing to you. If you wouldn't have crashed into me, we wouldn't have this problem. You know, I ain't saying it was neglect on you or however it happened. You know what I'm saying? But just, look at the energy. Oh, you got to heal that, baby. You got to heal that because Anubis is here. Death is here in that negative energy that you withholding. You could be watching this video, or he can be somebody watching this video, and they ain't for the right thing here about what I'm talking about regarding my life, my story, and what happened to me, what other people conflicted on me. Wow. The best thing to do is to heal, you know. The major arcana is out here. It's justice. This is court, spiritual law. It will prevail. Give me one for this one, and we're going to get on up out of here. And look, the cycles is closing out. Give me one for justice. Shit, I'm going through this every single day, doing nothing. Body aches and pains constantly, taking on all these burdens that I didn't put on myself. This is just something else that somebody else did to me that I can't heal from.
This is the one thing that I am not able to heal from what everybody in my life has hurt me. This person hurt me in a way. But God said, so we got the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, I said Nine of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Strength, one more. Oh, it's like, just hold on. Just hold on. So something is being invested. Something's starting up. It's an offer here. Some communication. It could be within the courts because we caught clarifying justice here. Because I do have a court case against this whole situation. I'm so hurt. It's like they calling me depressed. They calling me saying that I have depression. I have anxiety. I have PTSD. Plus all the pain that I'm encountering, and I'm not getting no help. I got a lawyer for the accident. Everybody is denying me left and right. No help. When I say pimp down, pimp down. And I still continue to live my life like this because I'm a happy, loving, kind individual here. Pure intentions, a good heart. I forgive those ones that hurt me. And that's why I get to live looking like this. That's how y'all see me. You would never knew anything was wrong with me if I didn't tell you. And that's it. I put my thing down, you flip it and reverse it. I don't know what this is. Somebody, it's like leaving up out of this poverty energy. Been invested into this situation, and boss energy is here.